She's been the champion this year, but she hasn't run faster than 23 seconds. And that's a really hard lane spot for someone who many people think might not win. Shericka Jackson is Jamaica's 200-meter champion this year, and she's been working on getting faster. Most people know her as someone who runs the 400-meter race. She ran it super fast a couple years ago at 49.83 seconds. Tomorrow is her birthday. Jackson, will she give herself an early birthday gift? This runner might be able to beat Jennifer Prandine, who is the U.S. champion. She came in third place in a race in Robat on Friday. There's also Miller Weibo and Asha Smith from Great Britain. Asha Smith and Jennifer Gall from France are in lane 5. She came in third in the French championships. Jennifer Gall and other runners are here too. One runner made it to the semifinals at the World Championships 3 years ago, but didn't make it through the first round in this same stadium last year. But she's won the Polish Championship 3 times and has a good lane spot. Lane 4 is Haspeth Dobin. Well, she's doing amazing right now as she's 24 years old. She became the UK champion earlier this month and set a new personal best time. She missed making it to the Commonwealth Games for Scotland by just 1/100th of a second. But wow, has she come back strong. Her last 4 200-meter races have all been personal best times. In lane 3 is Go Huang, or Huang Go. She's in lane 2, and she's only 20 years old. She's better at running 400 meters. And then on the inside lane is Justine. She came in 6th place in the 400 yesterday and 7th in the 4x400 meter relay race for South Africa. This is her 3rd race this weekend. And Palmon is in the inside lane. Well, Shericka Jackson is there, and she probably starts as the slight favorite on paper, ahead of Prandine. She's in lane 7 wearing Jamaica's colors. She had a small problem in Lausanne last week. She only came in 3rd place with a time of 22.8 seconds. But with her birthday tomorrow, this would be a great time to give herself a big win. Let's look at the lineup from the inside again. Palman from South Africa in lane 1. Huang from China in lane 2. Dobin from Great Britain in lane 3. Kila Bazins from Poland in lane 4. Gall from France in lane 5. Then Jenna Prandine, the U.S. champion, in lane 6. Jackson in lane 7 wearing that yellow Jamaica shirt. Bassi in lane 8 for Germany, but Prandine has taken off like a rocket and has already passed everyone. Jackson, well, she's better known as a 400-meter runner. Shericka Jackson running for Jamaica in that yellow shirt. Will she catch up to Prandine here? The American is getting caught up to. They're way ahead of everyone else right now. This is going to be really close. The Jamaican is coming up fast. She's getting closer and closer. She's going to catch her, and she takes the win by just a little bit. Both of them are 3 or 4 meters ahead of the person in 3rd place. What an amazing race. Prandine might have used up to much energy in the first 50 or 60 meters. She absolutely shot out of the starting blocks like a bullet. She ran it like it was a 100-meter race around the curve. And I know, Tony, you'll have thoughts on what she might have done right or wrong in that race. But Shericka Jackson was chasing her down, wasn't she? She won the bronze medal from Rio in the 400 meters. And she ran it like someone who runs 400 meters. She was really patient in the second half, and especially in the last 50 meters. I think the plan was for her to get out fast. Get out hard, try to break away from the other runners on the outside, and put pressure on the others. But like you said, if you use up too much energy, you're not putting your body in the right position and not finishing the race very well. Let me talk to someone who knows way more about 200 meters than I do. Doc Catherine, what do you think? It went exactly as planned. Do you remember running that long ago? I sure do remember. I can remember running almost that fast, but not quite as fast. Jenna Prundi, who runs shorter sprints, took off like a rocket. But Jackson's strength and ability to keep going fast with that 400-meter endurance just slowly caught up to her. It was a wonderful race. The world's #2 runner against the world's #4 runner. These are two of the fastest women in the world at this distance, and it was the wonderful race we were hoping for. Look at her technique and how she keeps her form. Jackson's not tired. She usually runs 400 meters, but that's some good fast-turning speed. Look at how much ground she made up in the last 60 meters. And I can tell you, as a sprinter, you're thinking, she's coming. They knew Shericka Jackson was coming with her for 100-meter strength. That was an amazing race. But if you watch Prandine coming off the turn, she doesn't get her body up properly. She sort of runs leaning into the bend instead of using the spinning force to help her run forward. Shericka Jackson once again showed why she's one of the best runners in the world, putting on an incredible performance in the 200 meters. The group of runners was full of talent. Jenna Prandine from the United States, Beth Dobin from Great Britain, and France's Jennifer Gao all came in as runners who could really win. But everyone was really excited to watch the battle between Jackson and Prandine, two of the best runners at this distance, right from the start. Prandine lived up to her reputation as someone who starts incredibly fast. Her explosive speed carried her quickly into the curve where she ran with the intensity of a 100-meter dash. She put everything into her first half of the race, challenging her competitors to try to keep up. Jackson, running in lane 7, chose a very different plan. Using her experience from running 400 meters, she stayed calm and controlled, saving her energy and focusing on running smoothly rather than using all her power right at the beginning. Halfway through the race, you could clearly see the difference between their two approaches. Prandini's early bursts gave her a small lead, but her running form started to break down as she went around the curve, instead of using the curve's momentum to help her run forward. She had trouble staying upright and smooth. Jackson stayed calm and disciplined, waiting for the right moment. With about 60 meters left to go, she changed gears and unleashed the devastating finishing speed that she's famous for. The final stretch belonged completely to Jackson, while Prandini's running stride lost its smoothness because she was tired. Jackson surged ahead with grace and strength, her technique polished and steady. The difference in endurance was obvious. Jackson's experience with longer sprints let her keep running at top speed while others got tired. She powered past in the final meters, winning by a comfortable distance and once again showing the sport why she's feared as one of the best finishers in track and field. This race also showed a bigger truth. Athletes who have experience running 400 meters often do really well at 200 meters. Jackson's training for longer sprints had given her stamina that runners who only do short distances sometimes don't have, combined with her smart race strategy. It gave her an advantage that few could match. For Jackson, this performance marked an important change in her growth as a runner. Once mainly known as someone who ran quarter-mile races, she was starting to prove herself as a real threat in the half-lap sprint. That journey eventually led to making history. Her blazing fast 21.41 time in 2022 made her the second fastest woman ever at this distance. These accomplishments show not only how versatile she is, but also how she never stops trying to get better, technically. Looking toward future championships, especially the Paris Olympics, Jackson remains a key person in sprinting's worldwide story. Though injuries have sometimes interrupted her path, her ability to bounce back has always brought her back stronger, with continued improvement and good health. The possibility of chasing the world record remains a realistic goal. That 2018 race now feels like the first chapter of an incredible story. Jackson's amazing ability to time her final kick and overpower competitors in the final meters has made her one of the most exciting athletes of her time. Whether it's the 100 Nishak or even a possible return to the 400, one thing is certain. Shericka Jackson represents dominance, versatility, and the never-give-up spirit of a champion.